My parents abandoned me with my grandmother to give all their attention to my brother. Now that I'm rich and bought a new house for my grandmother, they're demanding that I give one to them and my brother too. I was my parents' first child, and for a while, they were decent parents. I always knew I didn't come at the best time in their lives, but they didn't seem to mind and loved me, so I didn't complain. The problem started when I was 7 years old, and my younger brother was born. Unlike me, he was planned, and since he was born, my parents started treating me like I was some kind of stranger living in their house. It was sad for me since it was clear they had a preference, but I remember eventually getting used to it. However, when my brother was about 2 years old, my parents just put me in the car, drove to my grandmother's house, and said I would be living there from now on. My grandmother seemed as surprised as I was, so I guess they hadn't told her either. At first, it was tough with my grandmother spending the entire day calling my parents to take me back and, of course, them not answering. But when she stopped and talked to me, understanding everything that was happening, she stopped trying to reach my parents immediately and said that from now on, I would live with her. After that, although I was sad about not seeing my parents anymore, my life improved a lot. I had birthday parties again. My grandmother talked to me every day, gave me presents, and treated me like a normal child. She gave me the attention I needed, and even though I never heard from my parents again, I eventually forgot about them. Now, my life has improved significantly. After graduating from college, which my grandmother paid for entirely, I started a company and now have branches practically all over the region. I'm not a billionaire, but I live comfortably. Because of that, I decided to buy a new house for my grandmother, as she had always lived in a small house in a not-so-good neighborhood. She was obviously very happy and decided to talk about it around, apparently with my uncle too. So, my uncle ended up posting about it on social media, and in the end, it reached my parents. Since my parents left me at my grandmother's house, I hadn't heard from them once. So, imagine my surprise when suddenly I got a call from them. They started talking to me as if they hadn't done what they did, asking me how my day was, how I was, etc. I answered everything normally and asked them what they wanted. To my surprise, they said they saw what I did for my grandmother and found it very touching, but they were wondering when I would give a house to my real relatives, meaning them. I asked why they thought I would give anything to them since my grandmother was the one who raised me. They said it was the least I could do. They gave me life. They didn't just expect me to give a house to them. They also wanted one for my younger brother because he was going to college soon and wanted a house near the college to show off to his friends. I laughed and told them they never cared to check on me all these years. And now that I'm doing well, they finally call me just to ask for 2 houses. I told them they were wrong. They didn't raise me. My grandmother did. Then I hung up the call. They keep calling me, but I won't answer anymore, and honestly, I don't care if they get mad about it. I don't even know them well enough to care.